Welcome back to Chains of Addiction. My name is Max. Today, I'm hoping to do a climb, but first of all, I wanted to talk about my Hot Rod 372 real quick. Last night I pulled the muffler off, looked in at the piston, and there was the slightest bit of aluminum transfer that I saw, and I think that probably that was due to heat because I was running that completely stock muffler and I had the thing turned up pretty high. I hope it's not enough to actually do any long-term damage to the motor, but what I did was open up the exhaust on the muffler. So now you're gonna be here with me for the first time I started after, and we'll see how it sounds and how it runs.
More gurgle to it, but yeah, it sounds good.
I didn't shut that off.
Okay, friends, so the 372 Hot Rod is hurt, and we'll go into that in another video, but I guess I forgot to record a explanation of what we were doing today. So those two trees right there, the one on the right is leaning way back towards the power line that goes to the house. So I set a line, and then I went and climbed, or I intend to go and climb the bigger one, relieve some weight on both of those trees. There's one limb that goes from the larger tree way over the power line, so I needed to deal with that. And then, yeah, see what happens from there. Make a plan as we go. So, yeah, sit back, enjoy a little bit of climb, a little bit of some other stuff, and here we go.
Alright, I'm up.
There's different reasons for different cuts. I'll talk about them as they kind of come up in different videos, but this one I cut a little bit further out from the trunk than some of the others, just so that it would pop off there like that, because I didn't want it to get hung up in my line or anything. And notice that I have the line loose just in case that it did, and then I trim them all off so that the rope won't get hung up on them in any case. So that's that. And at this point in the climb, I'm still thinking that I'm going to swing over into that smaller tree and top it somewhere. That was the original plan, but as you'll see, that changed. But that's why I'm zipping off all those little stubs and stuff so that I don't have to do it later. It's really convenient from there. Might not be so convenient if I'm in that smaller tree. Now this one here, you can see it was kind of an issue. I actually unhooked my climb line. You see it going up there on the right, because we knew that the climb line was tied up in this limb, and that's fine. I just wanted to make sure that it didn't jerk me against the tree really bad. So I unhooked my climb line from the right side, and you can see that it absolutely did pull. And then I think what I did here is, as I cut it off, I just loosely held that end of the climb line. And it's a good thing that I did it that way, because it would have pulled me pretty good. I wish I'd have been recording this from up in the tree. I have that little GoPro camera up there, but I didn't think about it. For whatever reason, that slingshot right there just went forever. I mean, it's hard to tell from here, obviously, but it went way over the limb, over the fence that's 30 or 40 feet past the tree, and just, yeah, I don't know. There's some work to be done yet on the $15 hardware store slingshot, but man, sometimes it works really, really good. So it was just a weird moment. But we're throwing a line over that big branch there so that Danny can pull it to the side from the ground so that we can get it safely down past the power line. That's the plan.
Here we go. That'll do.
Very nice.
Right here is about where we both realized that there was a spot to drop the big tree easily. So we'll drop that, get it out of the way, and then on my way down, I'll swing my climb line over into the smaller tree, and we can use that to pull the small one over. Normally I wouldn't do that with a climb line, but it's a pretty small tree, so that's fine, no big deal. And it just made the whole thing really easy, so plans change.
Alright, so change of plans. You know that old saying, we make plans and God laughs? Well, there you go. I thought I was going to top this smaller one, but once I got up there and looked at it better, it looked pretty sketchy because there's this power line up behind us here that really is an issue. So instead, I hung the line in the smaller tree here so that we have a good pull rope on it. And then the bigger one actually leans out into the woods. So what we'll be able to do with that is just bang it over with wedges. I think it'll mostly go on its own. So that's what we're gonna do now. Honey's gonna help a lot. What is she even?
She's keeping the squirrels away.
Okay, well that's good. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna do a pretty normal undercut in in this bigger tree because it's already leaning the direction we want to go. So yeah, we'll start with that.
So with the other 372 acting up and probably damaged, I just threw the bar and chain back on this other 372. And this is an odd saw. It's I bought it from a guy that told me he was logging southeast Alaska with it for a while. And he probably was. I have no reason not to believe him. But he really wasn't a saw guy. And I knew immediately when I fired this thing up that somebody had been into it at some level. And I've never torn it apart and done the numbers on it, but it is a very strong saw, and you can just hear it in the idle and everything. I mean, it's a healthy saw. So the whole goal with building the other saw was to see if I could outdo this one.
Alright, so that tree went just exactly where we wanted it. I steered it a little bit, that's why I stayed on the stump. Now this one, I want to go more off to the left from that one. So just for safety, and rather than beating wedges all day, we're going to use this rope, the chainsaw winch, and pull it towards that another big cottonwood over there. And that should be the simplest way to get it on the ground.
Alright, last time, cutting in here. For whatever reason, I didn't have, or the other camera that was supposed to be watching the cut did not record. So, here we're just taking up the tension. Danny's got the little chainsaw winch pulling on it, and I'm standing off to the side watching it. You don't want to put too much pre-tension on it, because then it makes it real goofy when you start to cut. And then I just aim it a little ways away from Danny. It won't reach him anyway, but wanted to make sure. And yeah, there we go. Boom. I think that'll do it for today, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Consider subscribing, and we'll see you next time.